The Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Blockchain Super Conference is coming to Dallas, Texas, February 16, 17, and 18 in 2018. If you know of a better way to get the latest insider knowledge about crypto, to hear directly from the top minds in this field, to interact personally with 800 fellow crypto lovers, hodlers, investors, miners, traders, developers, and founders, then I'd like to hear about it. If you don't, then you don't want to miss out. Register today for the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Blockchain Super Conference. Go to bitcoinsuperconference.com and register today as a super early bird to get the lowest rates on tickets and hotel rooms. That's bitcoinsuperconference.com.
Welcome to Almost Here, Round the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies poised to transform our lives for better or worse are the focus of this podcast. Almost here means these technologies are now here and starting to be used, or just around the corner, from Bitcoin to artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.
I wanted to bring on Richard Jacobs, who's helping organize, or is the organizer, I'm not sure if you're sharing that title, for the Bitcoin Super Conference, which is in Dallas, February 16th to 18th. And I'm going to be doing a talk there. And I wanted to give Richard a chance to talk a little bit about the conference. So if people need to plan, it seems like a pretty big event, and hopefully people can come down to Texas. But welcome to the show, Richard. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, Tatiana, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about why crypto, what happened? How did you end up planning this conference? Give people a little background.
Yeah, about a year ago, I was all caught up in the Trump versus Hillary election, and
That's worthwhile.
It wasn't, because it was stressing me out and it was just negative. And
I know.
I started thinking, what would I rather fill my head with? And that's future tech type stuff, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, Bitcoin, etc. So I decided to start a podcast on it called Future Tech Podcast. And I started interviewing companies in these various spaces. And out of all of them, blockchain and Bitcoin was like the most interesting. So I kept at it, and I started going to a local meetup that just got more and more interested in crypto. And as of this date, I've done, well over 200 interviews with different companies in the space. And I just finished a book called Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Blockchain, what I learned from interviewing 200 plus companies. So I wanted to get more involved in the space. I'm not a developer. Sure, I could probably come up with some new token or something, but I don't think the space needs that. So how can I help it grow? I figured I'm going to put on a conference, and the whole goal is to showcase people the uses of blockchain. It's not just for money or remittances. It's for identity and for voting and for logistics and all that. So that's how the whole idea came about, and that's where it all came from.
Very cool. And tell me a little bit about what is the focus of the conference? Like, what kind of speakers do you have? You want to do use cases, but can you give us a little bit more about who and what people will see when they go?
Yeah, I'll give you some examples. So we have Anish Mohammed. He's going to talk about quantum cryptography. How's that going to affect blockchains? Will it destroy Bitcoin and other blockchains, or will they adapt and grow from there? So that's one. We have salt lending. They allow you to borrow against your crypto holdings without having to liquidate it. So if I have 100,000 in crypto, I could borrow 80,000 of it, put a down payment on a house, and I don't have to liquidate my crypto, which is great, for instance.
That's super neat. Isn't Eric Voorhees working with that project? I think so.
Yeah, he's an advisor on their board. Yep, definitely.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I had him on the show a few weeks ago. I remember him mentioning it and thinking it was really neat.
Yeah, and speaking of the devil, Eric Voorhees is going to come too, and he's going to talk about Shapeshift and Prism, their new way to invest. It's a little bit complicated to explain. I'll let him do it, but he's going to be there.
It made so much sense when he explained it, which is, not my strong suit when it comes to explanation. So I'm always really impressed when somebody can explain it, because I think the layman is really the person that needs to understand. But maybe that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. In regards to that, we're going to be having a beginner's class on Bitcoin and Ethereum for people that know nothing. How do I get it? What's a wallet? How do I buy and sell, receive and send, etc.? The reason why is that, a lot of people attending are going to be enthusiasts, but there's a big component of like 40 to 70-year-old people. They have money because they're older. They're interested in crypto, but they're like skittish about it, and there's not a lot of education. So I want to reach out to that demographic and get them as well.
Well, all those people need to put their money into crypto and not in the US dollar, because I don't know how, well, whatever. I mean, that's a little conspiratorial, but I'm not so hopeful about the US dollar. My returns on Bitcoin have been significantly higher than the dollar has ever done for me.
Definitely.
Cool. So that's neat. How many people are you guys expecting?
800. And we've sold, we just hit the 300 mark in terms of ticket sales. So we're going to get there. My goal is to sell... a third now, a third by the end of the year, and the last third for the last rush. But I want to make sure that we fill up, and it looks like we're going to. So far, so good.
It sounds like it. So how much are tickets right now? Are there any kind of specials if people are getting them earlier on or anything?
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of affiliates, News BTC, Crypto Insider. I mean, so that's giving people 10% off. Obviously, for listeners of this show, we'll post an affiliate link for you guys, so you'll get 10% off tickets. And tickets right now are about $597, so it'll be $530, $520 with the discount. And it's a 3-day conference, so I think the price reflects you hearing 40 plus speakers and 3 days, all day, all night of content. So it's going to be a big event.
I think that's a pretty affordable price tag, and I like to see things coming in at a price that people can afford. Because otherwise, it's just a bunch of bankers talking about crypto, which is always kind of funny. But you guys have like a lot of different kind of people represented, so it should be neat to see how the space evolves between now and then. Is there anything else that you want to tell our audience about the conference to kind of lure them in? Or I think we've got a lot of really good reasons to go. I'm going to be there, so that's already something.
Well, here I went to BTC Miami, and I went to Consensus, and I just literally came from the Texas Bitcoin conference. So as someone in the space, doesn't matter what you are, you get to meet local Bitcoin traders, you get to meet investors, you get to meet these vendors and see people and shake their hand. It puts a human face on this whole world, and I mean, you get tons of connections from it.
All right, so where should people go if they want to go and get the ticket? What's the website? One more time, give us a plug.
Yeah, it's bitcoinsuperconference.com.
All right, great. Dallas, February 16th to the 18th. Take your Valentines for a weekend of blockchain. I'm sure they would totally love that there in Dallas. All right, thanks very much, Richard. It was really great speaking with you, and we'll be sure to post the coupon code or whatever so people can save 10% off of the conference.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Blockchain Super Conference is coming to Dallas, Texas, February 16, 17, and 18 in 2018. If you know of a better way to get the latest insider knowledge about crypto, to hear directly from the top minds in this field, to interact personally with 800 fellow crypto lovers, hodlers, investors, miners, traders, developers, and founders, then I'd like to hear about it. If you don't, then you don't want to miss out. Register today for the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Blockchain Super Conference. Go to bitcoinsuperconference.com and register today as a super early bird to get the lowest rates on tickets and hotel rooms. That's bitcoinsuperconference.com.
You have been listening to Almost Here, Around the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Subscribe to this podcast, post a review to discover more future technologies that are poised to transform our lives for better or worse, such as Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.